Hello, and welcome to Fields and Skylines Let's Play White Farm, episode number 5. Still in the month of September. Our plans changed quite a bit at the end of the last episode. Let me just catch you up. All I've done since is I loaded up 8 bales of straw. Of the 20 we had, we still have 12 remaining. And just sold them off. Just over $6,000. Got it for that. We're going to go ahead and cultivate that field that we took the contract out. That's what we'll do next. That cultivation's worth just under $4,000, so that should give us enough to lease potato picker. So at the end of the day, yeah, we're not going to be break even. Well, maybe. I don't know if we're going to sell our potatoes, but you know, with any like potatoes that we sell from the other fields, you know, maybe we'll come close to break even. I mean, we're at 29,341. When we cultivate, we'll see what the total is where we're at, and then we'll go ahead and do the contracts first, and then we'll do our field last. I don't know what type of, well, that sign kind of just got in the way. I don't know what type of penalties we're going to have. I've decided I'm not going to put the bale trailer back where it was. It was useless there, by the way. So I'm going to put the bale trailer somewhere off in the distance here. Don't really come through this way all that much. I don't use this silo here, so I think I'm just going to dump it right here. Command decision. All right, I'm going to park this tractor right over here. We're going to jump in the deer, and then we're going to go cruise, and hopefully that with this thing, we can cultivate and make the contract good. If we got to lease out a cultivator, then we're just in trouble, right? So I'm not sure where I'm going. So let me just get to the end of the driveway, and then I'll look and see where we're going, and then talk about having now another field that we're going to need to lime and fertilize. And guess what we did? We got rid of the leased stuff. I should have checked the potatoes. See, I'm learning. I'm new to this game. Comment down below about how dumb I am, or comment down below about some of the times when you first started playing and some of the mistakes you made to help me feel better. Either way, please comment down below. Let's take a look at the contract for the cultivation. It is cultivating right here, 2.3 hep acres, and it is field 16. Field 16. Oh, it's right over here. All right, I'm turning the saving thing off. That's annoying. So field 16 is pretty close by. So that's wonderful news. Let's go ahead and turn that off. And let's go to field 16 and let's cultivate it. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. At least we won't have to take out a loan. I don't like taking out loans, especially on a losing proposition that this is. So yeah, so let's go ahead and straighten this out. Let's go back it up a bit. Let's unfold. Lower. And let's pull this guy and get this done. I don't know how long it'll take. It's not a widespread, but it's not plowing either. So yeah, so for some big decisions we need to make now. Are we going to combine those two fields into one? Are we going to leave them separate? I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do field. I don't know. I don't have a plan. I'm kind of discombobulated. I've been trying to think what to do now that we have another field that we could possibly plant barley in today. We could plant wheat. We could do all sorts of things. Possibly we could just leave it until the spring. So yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna do. It's a smaller field. I mean, that field could probably just be barley, but then I just sold a bunch of straw, so I'm thinking maybe 3 is the field that we're gonna plant with barley now because it's a little bigger, and maybe do soy in both of the other ones. I like soy. I don't know why I like soy so much. Or maybe we could do like an oats or something in one of them. Gives us straw, plus it gets it ready to like transition that mid-site, like the field number 2, to be back to barley, and then field 3 can then be something different after we harvest it. So maybe that's the plan. And we'll have plenty of straw again so that we won't have to worry about straw, and maybe we can then move barley to the smallest field. I don't know. A lot can happen in that time frame. So yeah, so we got to get this done, and then we got to do a bunch of potato harvesting. So I think in this video today, we're going to focus on the contracts, and then we'll do a 3rd video in September focusing on our land, our farm. I don't know how long it's going to take to do the potato harvest. Hopefully, if it starts getting a little late, I'll probably have to hire a worker, which will even make our profits even worse. But end of the day, we have to get it all done, and this is the best we could do to try to make the financials work on that potato field. So yeah. But I'm gonna crack on here. We'll throw this in a time lapse, and I'll see you when I go lease out the potato stuff. Enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Okay. We are at the dealership ready to lease the potato harvester. We have $33,182. So that is the number we're hoping to get close to when all of this foolishness and shenanigans is done. I don't think we're going to be that close to it, but we'll see. We shall see. So, as you saw, I drove my pickup up here. Realism. This thing driving down the street probably is not very real. The good thing is I do have some money for hiring workers if we have to get that far. Like if we gotta hire a worker to start, harvesting my potatoes versus me seeding a field. But let's take a look where we need to go here. $18 and $5. We'll start with $5. It's on the way. It's small. And then we'll go ahead and hit 18. This will be interesting. I don't recall ever doing a potato harvest other than one time I did a contract for it and it took forever. So again, I'll probably be doing some time lapses, jump cuts, whatever it's going to take to make the video kind of entertaining, but yet not too long. Like, I'm trying not to go over 45-minute videos. Could I have gotten there? I probably could have went from the other way, from there. It's probably the way I should have went. Live and learn. All right. Now, I think I just have to unfold. No idea. Lower. Turn on. Away we go. Everybody's going to take a long time. You see how narrow that thing is? And we just got hit by a tree. All right. We'll crack on, see if we can't get the hang of this. For realistic play, I don't know. I'm going to go back and get the trailer. I'm going to probably pretend to take an Uber to do it. But yeah, we are going to get these potatoes done. Hopefully we'll make that 33,000 number again. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. I do know it's going to take a long time to do this. Problem with potatoes, right? They're not on these trees. Are just planted in such a perfect way. So I'm guessing I probably should have went the other way around, but it's all right. Yeah, again, so I'll do this on a time-lapse jump cut. Try to make it as entertaining as possible. But yeah, we'll see you when all this work is done. The potato harvest is done. Wow, did that take a long time, and I am never going to do potatoes again. So you can see up to the upper right, we are about $12,000 under what we started with before we rented out the machine. And I learned a few things. One, what I should have done for that larger potato contract, I should have just rented or leased the equipment on the contract and used that instead, and then only leased out the potato harvester for the two small from our field and the smaller potato contract. Why? Because what I forgot, because when I usually lease small stuff, this doesn't happen, but for every hour of machine time, so like if you look at the bottom right there, you can see like where it says 3.1 hours over by the speedometer. Well, that's how many hours you've used that vehicle. Well, for every hour you use a leased vehicle, they charge you another fee. And lo and behold, it took 1.8 hours of machine time on the potato harvester to do those 3 potato fields. So guess what? They charged me for that hour, and it was around $12,500. I don't know if in the money tab they show leased stuff and their vehicle leasing costs. You can see there 44,875. Now not all of that for this month is for the harvester, but 42 some thousand of that is. But yeah, so like if I would have went the other route, like I mentioned earlier, we would have been right back at that starting point. But we're not. So what did I do? I took on a harvesting contract. Ooh, there's another one. Yeah, I'm not doing potatoes again. So I took on, I don't think I'm going to be doing potatoes anytime soon. Long and slow. I took on this harvesting contract. I rented the equipment there or I leased the equipment to use because, quite honestly, it was a little bit better than our equipment. We're gonna go ahead, and that'll be kind of what we're gonna do now in the end of this episode, and then next episode we'll get into seeding our barley. And while we do that contract, I'm gonna go here and catch. I'm gonna come here and catch a taxi or an Uber and have it take me up to the shop where all that leased equipment is. And then at the end of the day, I'll probably end up there with the pickup truck. So I'll be back in a little bit. I just got dropped off. Paid the Uber. Here's the kit that we get to use. Fast track with a combine, a class combine. Nothing too fancy, but it is a little bit better than my kit currently, and that's okay. Now I'm wondering if I can get hooked up to this and if I actually need to use the trailer or not for the header. Let's take a look. We are going to field 14. Field 14 is right here. It's right down the road. What the heck? Let's see if we can't. Big field, but it'll be all right. Let's see if we can't get the harvester down there without the trailer. Save some time. And it might be a little tight. Once we get through here, though, I think it'll be a little better. All right. Let's give us some room. Let's hammer down. So this contract, as you can see, was for a little over 8,000. It's not gonna get us back. It'll get us a lot closer. You can see it's 1 o'clock in the day, so it's getting a little late. I might, but we still should have enough time. I mean, it shouldn't take too long to harvest this field. I might set up, like hire a worker and get prepared to do some seeding for tomorrow or for the next episode. But end of day, here we are. And while we harvest, I am gonna I might even hire a worker while we talk, just so I can pull up the map and talk about what the plan is. This is So hard to tell. All right. So here's the plan. We have currently now 2 fields that are ready to be planted. A 3rd field that we just harvested that's going to need to be lime and fertilized, which we may also do in the next episode, or we might wait. Probably going to wait on it. We have corn that's going to need to get harvested. And that's usually in November, which we still have a couple months, which means October we are going to probably lime and fert the potato field that we just harvested. We're going to do silage on the grass field, and then I'm thinking about we might reseed the grass field after we do the silage, just because it's looking kind of bad. Now I don't know if I'm going to have to plow it up before we seed it, or if I can do the direct seeding with the cultivator. That's what I'm going to try first. If not, then we'll go the long route, maybe with the subsoiler I have to use, and then I don't know. I prefer not to have to use that subsoiler though. So that's the plan for next month. To finish this month though, I want to do this harvest, and the next episode we'll seed whatever field we decide on. I kind of have a plan for that. And maybe once that season is done, we could move probably into October and start some of that work. Because it shouldn't take that long to plant any of our fields with barley. So I'm gonna do a headland here, and when I'm done with the headland, I'm gonna hire a worker, and I'll come back on and we can pull up a map and take a look at what the plan is for our fields, or at least the plan I'm working in my head. I'll give people time to comment down below what they think. So, all right, I'm gonna do these headlands, and then I'll be back once I get the driver hired. So I have hired our first worker. Fun, fun. Now let's take a look at the map and let's talk about our plan. So here's our farm. We have a lot of weeds. So we have 2, 3, 4, 17. I'm gonna stick with the original plan. Barley's going in 2. It is showing as a 47. I don't know why, but I think we can get that better. It's almost 2 hep acres. Now, it's not our largest field, but I think this is our largest field right here, 2.48, 2.0. So this is our largest field, but still sticking to the plan. Barley is going to get sown into 2. 3 and 4, we're going to we're going to put soybeans down. This field, we're going to just replant grass. 17, we're probably going to do corn again, assuming I can figure out how to do corn with precision farming and low cultivating stuff. So I'll research that before we get to that. So our biggest priority is to get the barley in this field today. Now, I was thinking I should put it here because it's bigger, get more straw, but I think we have enough straw. We have a good amount of barley. Like, we have 5 cows and 10 chickens. We will have more chickens and more cows as we progress, but I think we'll definitely have enough barley for that. We'll get some silage, and we'll be able to start increasing the amount of cows we have. So I think we'll be okay. I think our next priority, though, would be buying a grass field, like maybe 25 here. Wait. Oh, we're Phil. Hold on. Let me go and unload this guy. But yeah, I think our next priority is buying a grass field of some kind. I'm not sure. Maybe I own another grass field. With owning 17, I own the grass field as well. I'll have to look at that, and if I do, that just gives us another field to have to mow and reseed at some point. Looks like our hired worker's missing bits. That usually happens because they like to do nice straight rows, and I don't like to do nice straight rows for some reason. So yeah, so we'll let him fill out, and then yeah, it looks like I own this grass. So that's actually good because that means oh no, now it's not showing that I own the grass. Um, I'll have to walk over there and see if I hit the grass, if it says like I'm owner or not. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think I own it. I think it's something that has to be purchased. But I think we need to buy a grass field. And if it's 8, it costs 2,075, 275,000, almost 276. Um, Jump in here. It's 120,000. This grass field's 132. Do you have grass anywhere else? Right here, maybe 215. So these fields are really expensive, and I don't think I'm gonna have that kind of cash to buy one outright. So maybe get a grass contract, but we're gonna have to rely on this grass field for a lot. We don't have a lot of cows though, so we should be all right. It should be good enough to produce hay and silage for us. We'll probably do back-to-back silages, get hay. We'll buy some baby cows that we can feed hay until they're ready to produce milk. That doesn't really give us any negative impact. And I'm hoping when we buy some baby cows early in the new year, by the time they're able to be milkers, we'll be able to support TMR mixing. I don't think I'm going to put any more hay food in here. It should be enough to get to where we need to be when we're doing TMR. So yeah, that is kind of our plan. For what we're going to do. So barley, soybean, corn. There's some smaller fields over here. I just don't want to buy a field to turn it into a grass field. So, but yeah, that is the plan. I'm going to, I haven't caught where he's at. I'm going to get out and catch an Uber back to the farm and get set up for some seed. Catch you when I'm done, when I'm back over there. The Uber just dropped me off. We're at the entrance of the farm. Let's go ahead and jump in the deer and let's get the seeder ready to go for our next episode of Planting While the Worker Works On. I'm going to have to Uber back over there at some point to empty him out. Wish I could hire a couple workers. But yeah, let's try to get this done quickly because he's at 80%, and I don't want him just sitting around. So yeah, we're going to do this with the deer. I don't know if we can just do seeds without the fertilizer. I don't know how this all works with the precision farming. We're going to find out. We're going to pull up to our seeds, and we're going to fill up with seeds. Although it doesn't show a fertilizer on here, so that's good. That's a good thing, I guess. Just come right up about to here. Open cover. Refuel. Another thing we're probably gonna have to do in October or November is spray down the weeds. The sprayer we have does not have that neat precision farming sensor, so I'm thinking I might just sell it, and then we'll have to lease. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the weight before I forget it's there. Probably going at it the wrong way here. Yep. Right, so I'll pick up the weight, and then I'm gonna get this guy off close to the field. Seeding is gonna be fun. It's the first time we're seeding in this series. Oops. Yep, I knocked over the weight. Alright, so I'm not going to put the weight on. I'll have to fix that with the other tractor, with the bale thing. But yeah, we're ready to go here. I'm going to go ahead and sprint down and see. You know what? The field's pretty close. I'm just going to sprint to the field. I'll walk. It's a beautiful day. We have time. We'll just walk up there. And you know what? I could drive up there. What the heck? Why pay for the Uber? I'll just, I can return the equipment to the field. They said they'd pick it up from the field, which is fine. Fine with me. So I'm gonna head up to the field. I think we'll do a good little outro here with a bit of a time lapse and an outro. And we'll call it an episode. I think this is and what an episode so far, right? We had the mega potato harvest. We're doing all these contracts to try to catch up some money. But in the day, we're in a good position. We still have enough. We will have enough time to seed. So we're in pretty good shape. I'm just gonna park right here. How about? All right, and then we'll leave you with this. Remember, like the video if you like the video. Comment down below on if you think the plan for the fields is good or not. If it's not, let me know what you would do. Subscribe to the channel if you find my follies in farming fun. All in all, I think I do pretty well. I just do make some blunders from here to there, but you know what? It's still fun. We're all learning, and that is what makes it great. So have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.